Hello everyone, my name is 𝐆𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐝 and in this video we are going to look at the solution of the problem task and deadlines, and this problem can be found on the CSES problem set in the searching and sorting section, and we are going to cover the solution of this problem. And if you are new to the channel, we are covering greedy algorithms from very scratch and learning greedy algorithms, all the different patterns and problems that can arise in a greedy algorithm paradigm. We are covering all of those things, which will be like essential for your competitive programming skills and your DSA, your OAs and your interviews. So if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and please do share it with your friends. Let's get back to the problem and let's just understand what the problem is saying and how we can approach a problem like this greedily, and why a greedy approach is very efficient. I will try to answer all of those problems here, all of those questions here. And so you have to process n tasks. Each task has a duration and a deadline, and you will process the task in some order, one after another. Okay, and your reward for task is d minus f, where d is the deadline and f is your finish time. So basically what the problem is saying, you are given n number of tasks, and for each task you are given its duration and deadline. Simply duration you already know, like how much time the particular task will take, and the deadline is simply for at what time you want to finish it. Like the deadline for a particular task is 10, so you have to finish a task till t equals to 10 becomes. So that's simply the deadline thing. And we are given n task, and for each task we are given the duration and the deadlines, and for completing a task we will get a reward. And what is the reward? Reward is d minus f. D is the deadline and f is the finish time. So simply the a very basic reward system here. Like if we complete the particular task within the deadline, so this is going to be positive. If we ran out of deadline, this will become negative. So the reward system is basically the time based, and we will be given the rewards basically with this formula. And the starting time is always going to be 0. We will start each task when the time hits 0, and you have to process all tasks even if a task could yield to the negative reward. The problem condition says that you have to process all the n number of tasks. You can't just skip a task or remove a task. You have to process all the tasks even if it yields a negative reward. You have to finish the task. What is your maximum reward if you act optimally? We have to find out what is the maximum reward we can attain while completing all the n number of tasks, and you have to act optimally. So the problem statement is simply, you are given n number of tasks. For each task you are given the duration and the deadline of the task, and for completing a particular task you are given a reward which is d minus f. Here the d is the deadline of the task and f is the finish time of that particular task. And we will start all the tasks with t equals to 0. When the t the time hits 0, it is just the representation of a relative time, such that when t is equals to 0 we will start doing our tasks. And you have to act optimally and find out what is the maximum reward you can attain, and you have to process all the tasks. You have to finish all the tasks. You can't just skip any task. So by this our problem statement is clear to us, and let's just discuss the input of the problem. In the input, the first input line has an integer n, the number of the task. After this there are n lines that describes the task. Each line has two integers a and d, the duration and the deadline of the task. Okay, the problem the input is simply, we are given the n, the number of tasks. Then for each n line, for each task we are given a and d. A is the duration of the task and d is the deadline of that particular task. And in the output we have to just print one integer, which is the maximum reward. Okay, the constraints are given to us, the number of tasks will go to 2 to the power 10, 2 times 10 to the power 5. So we have to think of a very efficient algorithm for this, which will kind of run in n log n time or n of log n. Simply in a linear fashion we have to perform the operation of our algorithm. Should work in a linear time, so that we can easily compile with our time within our time complexity. And a and d are given to us with the 10 to the power 6 values. The input is given us like this and the output is this. Okay, let's just discuss about something about the input. So we are given 3 tasks. This is our first task and this is our second task. Okay, and this is a third task, 5 and 12. So how is the reward system going to be? How is the when t equals to 0? I'm just printing creating a timeline kind of things. We are starting when the time hits 0, and let's just say we did this task first. So performing this task, the duration of this task is 5. So we reached this, we completed this task. So our reward is simply, our deadline was 12, we finished this at 5, so our reward is 7, we got to the 7. Then let's just perform the task number 1. The duration of this task is 6. We will finish it by 11. The deadline is 10. So with our reward system, it will become 7 plus, and the deadline was 10, and we finished it at 11. So -1, 7 plus -1, we will get the reward to us with 6. Then we are just left with the second task, and let's just perform this task also. 11 minus 8, we will reach at 19. So the duration of the task, the deadline was 15 minus 19. So the reward is minus for this particular task. We add this to our total reward system, and we got the maximum reward as to be 2. What is the order of all the tasks to get that maximum reward? Was simply we perform the third task first, then we perform the first task, then we perform the second task. So this is an optimal strategy for this particular test case. But how can we derive the particular solution for this? How can we say that optimally, how can we choose this? So let's just think greedily. What does greedy algorithm says? What does greedy algorithm tells us? Is that simply make the best move at that particular position, at that particular time, at the moment we are at, make the best possible decision, make the best possible choice there. So we are given with 3 tasks, and we are given A and D for each task. Our reward is which is simply d minus f, and we are given a timeline which is t equals to 0. We start with t equals to 0, and this timeline will tell us about the finish time of all the tasks. Finish time also can be called as the completion time, or the finish time is particularly the same thing. But let's just say how we can greedily think about the problem. How can we optimize this thing? How can we fix put one thing and rotate all the other things around that? So whenever we are thinking about a greedy problem, let's just discuss about one thing. We should always consider sorting. What does it means by sorting? We sort a particular category, we sort a particular task with something. With the activity selection problem, we sort all the activities by their finish time, by their end time, and then we will allocate all the particular things around that. So in this particular problem also, we have to finish all the tasks and make our reward maximum. So what are the things we can put the sorting things? So we have first the duration, second the deadline of each particular task, and third we have d minus f, which is the reward. But as you can clearly see, we can't just calculate d minus f for all particular the task, because f is not stable. F will change with every particular constraint, with every possible choice. For example, we first choose the second task, we will perform the second task, then the d minus f value for all the remaining tasks will change, automatically will change, and we if we go and change all those particular tasks, then pick up the task which is best at that particular moment, so it will raise up the time complexity very much. So we can easily eliminate, we can't just do d minus f. Then we have deadline, but simply we can also eliminate deadline, since if our time duration of a particular task is very low, and but its deadline is a duration of that particular task is high and the deadline is very low, so in these constraints the deadline crumbles the whole particular situation, and we will get the wrong results. So we can't just fix with the deadline also. Also the deadline thing, you can see this mathematically also. For example, for our reward system, how are we calculating the reward? Reward is simply d1 minus f1 for the first task, plus d2 minus f2 for the second task, the deadlines of that particular task minus the finish time of that particular task, up to and so on, dn minus fn. You can do that also. Let me just erase all these things. So we get like the reward system is simply the summation of all these. And for example, if you like do it mathematically also, so this will become simply d1 plus d2 plus up to and so on dn minus f1 plus f2 plus up to and so on fn. So as you can like already see, this sum is going to be constant at for every particular test case. Like in whatever order we perform the particular task, this is always going to be the same constant. So like sorting it with the deadline will not solve our particular problem, will just yield a wrong result for us. But since we have to like optimize the completion time, what is this, the finish time or the completion time? And like with the completion time you will be able to grasp this even better. This is the finish time or the completion time, and the deadlines are always going to be constant. We are doing a subtraction with this. From a constant value we are subtracting the finish time, the completion time, which is going to be variable. So we want to like decrease them as much as possible. So simply like if you do 10 minus 9, this is going to be a low value, like it is just going to be 1. But if you like reduce it just 1, so the value is going to be higher. So the this is the constant value for us, this is a variable value. So our goal is to like minimize this value as much as possible to maximize our final result as much as possible. So how can we like minimize the completion time of a particular algorithm of this particular test case? So like a very simple thing here is finish time, or like as we are saying it, completion time is simply the duration. How is this simply a duration? So the duration of a particular task is saying how much time is going to take it to complete. So let's just sort the duration of each of the tasks, sort all the tasks with the duration, and then we can just greedily choose each task, and we can like finally calculate our final solution. And as you can like already say, we have to like minimize the completion time, minimize the finish time of each particular each particular duration, each particular finish time. We have to minimize that. So the how are we going to minimize that? So we are going to minimize that by finishing the simply by finishing the like the smallest duration task first, smallest duration tasks first. So we will just simply sort all the tasks with the duration, and then the finishing of the smallest duration task will give us like it will come the first. It will come as first, and the smallest duration task, like for example, A1 is going to be AN is going to be just end here. A of I is just going to end here, and we have D of I here. So like this is going to give us the correct result. And as I already mentioned you, why is this going to be this going to give us the final result? Here you can see that. And let's just also discuss I can provide these notes in the description also for you. You can take those from here, and I've already just written all these things here. You can pause and read all of these things. So we are just sorting all the tasks during the duration. Why are we doing that? Task with smaller duration unlocks more time for bigger tasks later. Okay, and delaying a short task hurts more than the delaying a long one. Simply our task which is just like the duration of this particular task is just like 2 seconds, and a task with 100 seconds of duration, we want a task which will complete first. So we will like complete that first, and the task with a 100-second duration we will finish it later. So that's how it is going to do. And also to like prove the greedy solution, I am also introducing these mathematical concepts to you as well. If you are following the series from the very first video, you already know about the invariants and monovariants. If you are not, if you like watching this as a first, so let me just tell you about what is an invariant. Invariant is we use invariant and monovariant, the mathematical tool, to prove the greedy that our greedy approach is correct. And how we can prove that is we use these particular two terms. Invariant is simply a condition that stays true altogether, like the algorithm. It stays true before the algorithm, it stays true during the algorithm, and it stays true after the algorithm. So what does it stays true here? At any step, if we have scheduled the first k task, shortest one, the total completion time so far is minimized compared to any other ordering. Thus, the sum of rewards for those tasks is maximized. Simply, we are at each particular position, at each particular time, we are minimizing completion time we are minimizing. So that is, it is going to maximize the reward of those particular tasks. The invariant ensures that choosing shorter task first is always at least as good as any other schedule. So simply choosing the shortest path is shortest duration task is going to give us the particular solution, and the total completion time strictly increases as we add task. This is a monovariant. Monovariant is simply the condition that changes it increases or it decreases, always increases or always decreases at every position we are at the particular algorithm. Since at greedy we are making choices at particular positions, so this is the property that is going to change at every particular position. Either it increase all the time or either it decrease all the time. And this increase or decrease thing, the monovariant thing, tells about that the particular algorithm of us that we derived is going to terminate at a particular position, and it is going to the progress of the algorithm, it tells about this. So the total completion time strictly increases as we add tasks. Since we are minimizing the growth of this total at each step, the total penalty completion time minus deadline is minimized. So the monovariant here is total completion times grow step by step. So the total completion time, the reward, and the total completion time, since F1, F2 up to and so on Fn, they are always going to increase, which tells us that the algorithm is eventually going to terminate and it greedily minimizes its growth. Simply these are just the invariant and monovariant. The proof idea you can also read it here. It's very simple, and I have already introduced the mathematical aspects also above. So the code is going to be very simple. The C++ code I have written, and you can follow it in Java and Python also. Here we use the constant headers and everything. Our main function start, and this is a fast input output we are using. So we write n, which are the number of tasks. Then for each task we are given A and D. So we introduced a vector in which we can use a pair of a long we are using, because the values are big, 10 to the power 6. You can use int also, but we are using long to be safe, and the task is our vector. The task is a vector for which every element is a pair, which is going to store A and D for us. And we are going to just sort by duration. We will sort task.begin, task.end, and at the final we will just say simply we sort it by duration. Sort task.begin, task.end. For the Java people, you have to introduce the comparator for all of these things and make a, if you are using a pair class also, you have to use the comparator for this. But with the C++ we got the STL, so we can just directly do this. And then we have long time equals to 0 and reward equals to 0. We are using long here because the values are big, we are given 10 to the power 6 times of value, so the answers can be a bigger one. So to be safe, we use long for these type of situation. And for each task we are adding time to our task dot first. The time is always increasing. This is the timeline, this is the finish time, which is always going to increase, and the reward is simply task dot second minus time. Task dot second is simply what? The deadline of that particular task, which is simply d of I, and the time is simply f of I. It is always going to increase. It is a monovariant in our particular situation, and di minus fi is an invariant, which is always going to give us the final the maximum value. So deadline minus completion time we are going to add, and at the final we will just print the reward, and this is going to give us the final answer. And you can already say the time complexity of this is for sorting. Sorting simply is O of n log n, and for processing each task is simply O of n. So O of n log n plus O of n, the total time complexity is just going to be n log n, which is very efficient and will give us will pass each and every test case. And the space complexity is simply O of 1, because we are not using any extra space. We are just storing the information given to us in the particular test case and deriving a solution using that. So this is the solution of this particular problem, and I hope I made you think greedily. I made you think in a mathematical way how you can approach a greedy problem. And if you understood anything in this particular problem, if you like the solution, if you like the approach I took to explain this, so please do hit a like, and please do comment What's your favorite part? How do you like the explanation? How are you liking the series? Please do comment and share it with your friends. It means a lot for me if you share. And please do subscribe and have a nice day. See you in the next video.